Before I begin, I consider the terrain where this was filmed to be dangerous due to potential mine contamination, and I would absolutely not recommend visiting this location. Good day and welcome back to War, Relics, Croatia. Today I'm taking you to a hill that inspired me to take the things I do today more seriously. I will intentionally omit the name of the hill itself because I believe that going up there carries certain risks. I first climbed its inaccessible peak somewhere back in 2017, and ever since then it has been luring me like a magnet. A few years ago, when this YouTube channel wasn't even in my plans, I took a camera with me and started filming. Luckily I kept those recordings. So let's dive into another adventure with War, Relics, Croatia. To not take much longer, the war in Croatia begins in 1991. The siege of Dubrovnik begins on October 1st, 1991, and by the beginning of December, Serbian and Montenegrin troops are located about 40 kilometers west of the city itself, with the aim of penetrating towards the Neretva Valley. On December 6th and 7th, a defensive line of Croatian forces is established in small villages in the very west of the Dubrovnik area. This line will stabilize, however, in the hills above that area, on inaccessible terrain, a real small war takes place. This is the story of one of those hills, a hill that will ultimately play a crucial role in the survival of the city itself until the end of May 1992. We can see that this ridge suffered so much shelling that the deformed helmet got stuck in the crevice. It's interesting that there are always remnants of gas masks in positions like this. I don't really understand why they were carried to such inaccessible positions, considering that any excess equipment here is a luxury. I assume this is the remnant of recoilless cannon projectile. It would be interesting to know where that cannon was placed when it was shooting this high. And recoilless cannons don't have a very long range, so somewhere close by. Maybe someone knows more about this. And then I came across this shelter. Maybe someone knows whose sunglasses these are that were left here 33 years ago. And this is certainly the most interesting find on this hill and testifies to night operations as well as the importance of this position. It is the base plate for sub-100 MN illuminating aerial bomb drops from aircraft. It weighs 100 kilos and inside it was a cluster. There is a cluster charge of 7 smaller flares with a parachute. It turned night into day in the area of almost 2 kilometers for a few minutes. Whether night infantry battles were fought here or it was only used to determine artillery targets at night, only the living participants of these events from both warring sides know. It would be definitely interesting to hear their testimonies. A few years ago I found the cylindrical body of the bomb itself in the forest nearby, only a few kilometers from here. Okay, this raincoat was obviously acquired from Germany. And there is also a signature on the raincoat. And this is certainly an interesting find. So this is some kind of dopping. It's a combination of caffeine and honey. What is interesting with those battlements is their direction, and it indicates that this position changed the owner probably a few times. So this battlement is turned toward the Croatian side of the battlefield. And here we have a probably Polish steel helmet, WZ67. I'm not sure, am I right? But that's my assumption. And now the reason for all my warnings. An empty box of anti-personnel mine, so-called mrud, or the Yugoslav-made or Yugoslav version of the Claymore mine. I found several empty remnants of this. This is stabilizer for 120mm mortar shell. And here we have a beer can, 33 years ago. This used to be binoculars. This hill, surrounded by the evidence of the several helmets, empty magazines, parts of ammunition, empty anti-personnel mine boxes, with deep scars in the earth. These are not just artifacts, they are testaments of bravery, quality that recognizes no flag. Just imagine the hardships, the cold, the heat, the fear of warfare on such terrain. It would be interesting to hear testimonies from both warring sides. Those who fought here will recognize this terrain. I know that on Croatian side there are members of the 1st Guards and the 4th Guards Brigade. I assume that there are other units from the Dalmatian area. On the other hand, I don't know which units fought on the other side. I assume elements of the 2nd Titograd Corps. If you want to hear more stories like this, hit the subscribe button and support my work. Until the next story on the Dalmatian Karst.